Actor Courtney B. Vance is incredibly accomplished. She's played everyone from Johnny Cochran to Cobra Bubbles in the new Lilo and Stitch movie.
I need to find out what kind of threat we're dealing with.
Courtney will be here to talk about how he thinks growing up in the middle of the 1967 Detroit riots made him who he is today.
Q with Tom Power. Tomorrow morning at 10:30 in Newfoundland. And on the CBC Listen app or wherever you get your podcasts. The CBC News is next, followed by Ideas with Nala Ayed.
Homosexuality is a crime in more than half of African countries. New laws in some states make it illegal for anyone to even advocate for LGBTQ rights. What's the best route to change? Coming up on Ideas.
From CBC News, The World is Out, I'm Neil Kumar. King Charles is now in Canada on a 2-day visit. The King and Queen Camilla have already made several stops on the trip, which is all leading up to Tuesday's speech from the throne. David Thurton has more.
A Canadian Forces jet carrying Charles and Camilla landed in the nation's capital shortly after 1 p.m. Sunny skies and smiling faces greeted the royal couple on the tarmac, including Prime Minister Mark Carney and his wife. Then it was off to a farmer's market on the outskirts of downtown Ottawa. Outside, large crowds gathered shouting and cheering Charles, who is making his first visit to Canada since becoming king. Soon it was game time. The king dropping the puck at a street hockey event.
Merci, thank you, Your Majesty.
It's a tight schedule for the royals, less than 24 hours in all. Charles headed to Rideau Hall, the Governor General's residence, to plant a ceremonial tree. Official appearances before Charles officially opens Parliament Tuesday, delivering the speech from the throne outlining the new Liberal government's agenda. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Francis Scarpaleggia has been elected the new House Speaker. The 67-year-old Liberal has been MP for Quebec's Lac-Saint-Louis riding since 2004. In thanking those in the House, Scarpaleggia jokingly spoke about the friction between the parties that he is expected to deal with.
At the end of a mandate, when things tend to get a little feistier, I would remind members that we are at the beginning of a mandate in the selfish hope that you will afford me a little grace period.
The Speaker's election marks the start of the 45th Parliament. In the UK, it was a scene of celebration that turned into one of fear. A car drove into a crowd of pedestrians celebrating a soccer win in Liverpool. Police have arrested a 53-year-old British man believed to be the driver. They say the incident is not being treated as terrorism. Briar Stewart has more.
Hundreds of thousands of people were lining a 16-kilometer route in Liverpool, England, celebrating the soccer club's Premier League win. When near the end of the 4-hour parade, a vehicle started to drive down a still-closed road. From video taken at the scene, it appeared that some in the crowd initially tried to stop the vehicle, but it accelerated and drove forward. The police say they've arrested a 53-year-old British man from the Liverpool area and have urged people not to speculate on the circumstances of the incident while authorities investigate. Assistant Chief Constable Jenny Sims is with the Merseyside Police. We are not currently looking for anyone else in relation to it. The incident is not being treated as terrorism. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer called the scenes in Liverpool appalling and thanked police for their swift response to the shocking incident. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.
A judge has now approved a $500 million settlement in a case involving the price fixing of bread nationwide, as the Jamie Strachan reports that affected shoppers could soon see a payout.
Calling it an excellent and fair result for all concerned, an Ontario judge has ended years of litigation stemming from a class action suit that accused Loblaw and its parent company of being part of a years-long practice to fix the price of bread. More than $400 million will be paid out, about 20% in Quebec, the rest spread across the country. Anybody who bought bread between 2001 and 2021 is eligible. The online claims process is not yet open. Loblaw already paid out about $100 million in gift cards to shoppers who paid on average $1.50 more for a loaf of bread than they should have. Canada West University professor Daniel Chai says the large dollar figure reflects the wide impact.
They're buying it all the time on a weekly basis, and as a result, that's the consequence of coming up with this very large dollar figure.
Chai says this deal could lead to other retailers involved in similar class action suits to reach settlements. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
And that is your world this hour. For CBC News, I'm Neil Kumar.
I'm Tahara Farouzen with your regional weather forecast. In Edmonton this evening, showers and some thunderstorms, low of 13 degrees. Tomorrow, though, the sun returns with a high of 25. Grand Prairie tonight, partly cloudy, 30% chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm, low of 9 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, windy, and a high of 23. And for McMurray this evening, increasing clouds and a few showers, risk of a thunderstorm, low of 13. Tomorrow, sunny and a high of 26.